Hi, Dave. Coming to the end of what we used to think was the traditional end of the flies in the fly season, and we're finding out now it's going on and on and on. Just what a wonderful fall. We're heading into probably the best dry fly fishing that we've seen since we can remember, and I've been here 35 years. And I used to fish the canyon all the time in the fall. This is really phenomenal. The hatches, the caddisfly hatches are just unbelievable. The Cahills and the slate drakes are really dwindling now in the evenings, but we still have lots of caddis. We've got the little heptagenia that's hatching. We've got the winter fall betas, as I call it. And we've got lots of other terrestrial flies that we can deal with. So it's just been what a fascinating year to watch this. Lots and lots of trout. The water conditions are beyond what you would expect. So temperatures are great. The flow and the volume is good. So just to give you kind of a quick overview, the guys have been fishing everywhere from right on the bottom with streamers up through very small drifting chironomids, everything like that, and everything in between streamers and chironomids. So it's been just really a fun year. We have some disappointed anglers, but we have lots and lots of very happy ones. You have to use a little bit of fall technique as opposed to your unbelievably wonderful dead drift in the spring. We have the caddis or the prominent fly. We've got to dance it. We've got to give it activity and action, and the fish are looking for it. So one of the, of course, streamer-wise, we have this wonderful selection right here. This is a Modo's minnow. You can get them dark and light.
I spend more time looking.
Of course, the light is probably a real good Pine Creek selection because of all of the fall fish that we have. And don't ever get mad at the fall fish because they're the wonderful food source that makes these brownies as large as they are. And when you catch them, you'll notice the big heavy bellies on them. So, you know, these are two really great streamers for this area. Of course, Russ Blessing's old woolly bugger is still around and still an incredibly good choice if you're fishing Pine Creek and anywhere. Russ tied this fly many years ago. His little daughter named it by referring to it as, "Gee, Dad, that's a woolly bugger." It caught on, and so we've had woolly buggers ever since. Great pattern. The Clouser minnow styles are also a great Pine Creek pattern. They have the weight to get them down. You can kind of imitate the lighter and shinier fall fish that are so prevalent in the stream, and that offer, and that's what makes our brown trout get so heavy. So that's really fascinating, and again, a great streamer. Early mornings, right through the day, into the evening. We've had just incredibly good, strong caddis hatches, and I have to admit we're a little confused with some of it because we're seeing caddis hatches that we're just simply not used to seeing. We actually even had a very green caddis hatch this past week, size 12 to 14. Big bug, extremely green. We were kidding Jed that works here in the shop. We were kidding him, that's where the green weenie came from. So it's kind of neat. But when we're dealing with caddis, there's still a lot of October caddis around, brown caddis, tan caddis, and the butter yellow caddis I think is backing off a little bit, but it's really interesting to see all of these caddises. So attractor patterns, of course, for caddis, dry-wise, are wonderful. You can use these, you know, the large Randall Kaufman style stimulators. A very effective pattern. You can use those up to 6s and 8s. Dance them, you know, dance them around on the surface. Don't worry about trying our famous May dead drift. This is fall. We're primarily fishing caddis flies. Lots of action will give you action. Then we have Tom Forward's CDC caddisses. Tom has tied flies for us for numerous years. He's run a shop in Philadelphia his whole life. Tom ties the CDC wing caddisses, the October, the tan. You know, great patterns for this time of year. If you're not wild over dry fly fishing and you like to add something on, you can put an emerging pattern, soft hackle, right off the bend of the hook. Go back and fish these two on the surface, and the soft hackles right in or right slightly under the film. Very effective way to catch trout. Again, give it action. That's what they like to see. Going through here, we have the traditional trough, out-trough elk wing caddis, which is again a great durable fly, very representative of the caddis. If you palmer it nicely, you can dance this pattern all over the surface. Again, very effective. You almost can't sink them. So it's a great adult pattern caddis. And again, kind of exciting to fish. You can put a soft hackle behind this. I wouldn't go way behind it. I don't think I personally would go much over 16 inches, and some guys like to do that. It handles a little easier in that 14 to 16 inch range. Going through, we still have mayfly hatches. We've got betas, which is the primary fly that I used to fish 30 years ago here in the fall. I have to admit I don't remember these wonderful caddis hatches that we're having now. So here's the little, I refer to them as a fall betas. You know, great little pattern, size 18. Again, tied in a sparkle dun. Nick Nicholas's sparkle dun. Nick ties these, and also this little soft tackle emerger right behind it. Of course, the sparkle dun is tied to represent a trailing shuck case drifting down the river along with the adult fly. We have another really unique pattern in our slate drakes. A gentleman named Jim Oman ties these for us. Wonderful patterns. Slate drake is still active, not as heavy as it was a week ago. They're still looking for it. It's still very effective. So again, here's Jim's offering for a dry parachute, and Tom Forward's beadhead soft tackle emerger right behind it. Again, I would recommend fishing two different levels, one on the surface, one right below the surface. You just seem to have a lot more productivity that way. So those flies we tied at just 4-hour shop. They're very effective patterns. The slate drake started in late May. We're still catching trout on it. Here's a unique pattern here that has really been effective once we get into terrestrials. It's a parachute hopper, a Schroeder type style hopper. We can also do the same thing with the Dave's hopper. But this is very unique because the underside of this is tan, and it's got the tent wing, and it very well could be taken for the October caddis. Again, lots of action. Keep the thing on the move. We get through one other very large fly that gets back. This is called a yak. Again, it's to represent the caddis, the October caddis. It's made of closed cell foam, very easy to drift and float and dance around the water. It's got rubber legs, so it makes lots of activity and motion on the surface, and they do respond to that. We get into the actual just terrestrial fishing. We've got some really neat terrestrials here. This giant hopper has been very effective in taking trout. It's a monster, very long fly, really neat. You probably wouldn't expect to be fishing in Pennsylvania in a freestone stream at the end of October with this pattern. Again, very effective. We have the same thing in green. We're wondering if that isn't being taken for that very large green caddis that's coming off. That caddis is very vivid. Again, I have to say I don't remember seeing that in the past, but it's here, and it's here in good numbers. We will be prepared for it next year. Chernobyl ants, great offering. Again, give it lots of motion. We started it out as a bass fly this fall. It turned into a very good trout catcher. So there you go. We're moving through. It appears like we have lots of time and conditions left. If you're planning on fishing, I would do it and come as soon as you can. Good to talk to you.